Welcome back to Impulse Plays. I'm Crazy Carl Winter here with a Magic Online League for Classic Feb. Unfortunately, as of the date of recording, which is April 27th of 2026, we don't have the ability to use Hermit Druid right now because it is bugged and doesn't let you sort your graveyard. So you can't do any Karmic Guide shenanigans. The only way you could possibly do it is with Animate Dead, and that involves making the deck way worse. I know Daybreak is working actively on the bug, but it's not done right now. And I've really been enjoying this classic Feb list anyway. Big differences are it plays Eladamri's Vineyard, which helps you power out your intuitions, your survival of the fittest, your mana dorks. And I've got another Vineyard in the sideboard. I'm heavy on Xantid Swarms, trying to defeat control decks. I'm running Infest instead of Pyroclasm because Pyroclasm, the red is a lot harder than double black to get. You can get double black off of a Llanowar Waste and a Reflecting Pool. For red sources, all you have are gemstone mines, undiscovered cities, and maybe a bird if you have a bird in play. Other than that, it's pretty stock classic Feb. I'm playing a third Valrash Shapeshifter instead of a second Mesmeric Fiend. Got an ESG instead of the third Mesmeric Fiend. Get-to Slinger, Oromancer, pretty standard. A lot of piles you build with Intuition. Some of the piles you build with Intuition involve Oromancer and Unearth to get back your Survival of the Fittest, because Survival of the Fittest is the only way you combo in with this deck. So that's where we're going out with that. Sideboard's got Monk Realist and Rare Revelation for Enchantress. It should have Glooms. These Duresses should be Glooms. However, Glooms are like 35 tickets, and I'm not spending $70 on 2 Glooms for the sideboard of my classic Feb deck. Even though I do play Gloom in Hermit Feb as well. So these Duresses will probably come in against some things that wouldn't normally, but against like Replenish, against Enchantress, these Duresses will come in, and they would come in if they were Glooms. Other than that, I think that's pretty much it for the deck. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below, and I will see you in round 1. All right, we're in round 1. I've got a hand of all time. I've got a Job Mycos into a Birds of Paradise. I've got an Intuition. I don't have a third mana source, but I can cycle this Unearth to get me closer to it, so I'm going to keep this with the thought of using my Intuition to get me into Survival of the Fittest. Wish my opponent good luck. They did not wish me the same. Feels bad, man. Alright, looks like we're against Landstill or Replenish. Oh, this could be like Groudhog or something like that. I don't know, it could be a lot of things. Question is here, do I want to Cabal Therapy for Seal Cleansing in case they're playing Replenish? I kind of do. Sorry if you can hear the screeching tires outside. Replenish is super, super common on Magic Online. That said, I can play around a Seal Cleansing with Intuition. I know, buddy. I'm doing a recording right now, bud. So Seal Cleansing can get played around with that. Yeah, so I'm just going to play the bird. Talk myself into it. I can go. This sets me up for the turn 2 Intuition. Possibly should have led on Llanowar Wastes, try and bluff being the rock, but I don't know. As you may notice, my Magic Online username is I Fight So Good. It is not Crazy Carl Winter. So that hides who I am a little bit, because I feel like I have a bit of a reputation as a Feb enjoyer. Yep, Bar against Replenish. And we'll see what we can do from there. Okay, next, another land is welcome. I could cast my Valrash Shapeshifter here, which I kind of want to do, because what happens if I do that, I can Intuition for Cabal, I can Intuition for a Psychotog, Devourer, and X. I can then unearth my Psychotog and then use my Psychotog to clean my graveyard up, get the Devourer on top, and then discard the Triskelion and kill my opponent. So I think I'm going to go for that. It's not the typical way you win with Classic Feb, but it is definitely an option you have when you're playing with Intuition. It lets you do a lot of really cool stuff. It's entirely possible my opponent's going to go for Mana Leak here. That said, that forces them to fetch into blue as opposed to white. I'm okay if they fetch for white to get Plow. That means they don't have blue for Intuition or Attunement. Let's see what they decide to do. Yep. Okay, they fetched the island. Looks like they're going to go for Intuition here. And what do you want Intuition for, opponent? Oh, they're frantic searching. Folks, don't frantic search at the end of turn when your opponent's tapped out. If my opponent waited until next turn, they would not only have another land, they would also have another card to look at. I don't know, whatever. So they discarded Decree, Flooded Strand. Are they going for a quick replenish for the Decree of Silence? They could be going for Opalescences here. That very much could be the case. Yep. Because that may mean they already have the replenish in hand. But this intuition is going to reveal a lot about what they're trying to do. I don't think I love trying to just replenish out this Decree. That doesn't seem very good. Oh, they're going for attunements. Yeah, that's fine with me. Fine with me. I guess they wanted intuition as well. I don't know. I don't know that I agree with that sequencing, but I'm not very good at replenish, so I guess I can't really speak too much to it. Okay, opponent has the white source. They did not immediately plow, however, which makes me think they don't have it. Alright. Play city. Blue. Colus. Cast intuition. Yeah, if they go for the plow here, I'm kind of cooked, but it's probably kind of cooked here no matter what. So I need Psychotog, a Devourer, and let's get another Shapeshifter in the graveyard, maybe. Yeah, let's put another Shapeshifter in the graveyard. So it doesn't matter what my opponent gives me here, because I can use the Psychotog to discard things after I unearth it. Really the key thing is here, if I can get my Psychotog into play, I can win the game. If I cannot get Psychotog into play before they kill my Shapeshifter. If they try to kill my Shapeshifter after I get Psychotog, they're cooked. But before Psychotog comes out, they are very much in a winning position. They'll have attunement going. I'll have Avar, Shapeshifter left, and just not a lot else. So I'm kind of all in on this intuition, but I feel like some replenish lists have been cutting plows because they're doing the same thing that I think Enchantress did, is that they're kind of greedy and they're just like trying to fit more combo pieces in. I forgot about the fact that they could get me Psychotog here. That's fine. Cabal Therapy then. That's all. Alright, so let's go for... That's the thing I'm most worried about, is this replenish. Oh, they have a Mana Leak, okay. That's fine. I can take out the Mana Leak next turn, so that is fine. Okay. I forgot my opponent can give me Psychotog. I was short of mana to actually kill them there. So good play from my opponent. This does open me up to playing Psychotog and unearthing my other Shapeshifter next turn, if I get a next turn. If I don't get a next turn, that's going to be kind of awkward, but we'll see. I can get 2 spells out of the way with Unearth and Cabal Therapy. And then I'll need a third one to pop their Decree if that goes off. I'm giving this some thought, so my hope is that they don't have it. But Replenish tends to just have it, so it is what it is. Opponent thinking on their attunement. You guys look at my Shapeshifter instead of Birds of Paradise. Yeah, if I had another mana, I could have discarded Psychotog, Devour Shapeshifter, and used its abilities to clean up, but then I wouldn't have the mana to do other stuff, so yeah, this is a good call by my opponent to give me the Psychotog. I've had a lot of people not give me the Psychotog, and it worked out fine. I forgot that was an option. This is not Gifts Ungiven. If it was Gifts Ungiven, I could go for Psychotog, Devourer, and just put him in my graveyard, but not an option that I had. So, if opponent casts Attunement again this turn, I'm going to flashback. I don't know if I flashback the Therapy for Plow or not. I think I do. Problem is they can then spin Attunement and try and draw into Plow afterwards. I don't know. This game has been pretty loose, but I didn't like my chances of going for a survival line, so. Alright, opponent goes for a bunch of lands and their Mana Leak. Okay. They got a Plow for the Shapeshifter. That is fine. They got another Plains. Okay. If last card is a Plow, then they got me. If they don't, then they don't. Alright. Alright. I could flashback the Therapy here. I don't think I see any reason not to. I want to try and hit. They already have a Plow down. They're 40 cards. They're 20 cards into their deck. They could have a second Plow. Odds are they might get a second. Not odds are they get a second Plow, but they may get a second Plow in their next set of cards with Attunement. I think I'm gonna just go for it. I'm gonna try and get back this Shapeshifter here for a black. Okay. Black, blue. Cast Psychotog. Alright, so now I need to, I don't want exile, I want graveyard. You can tell I'm an expert at this. Alright, so I need to discard a card and then exile these cards to get to the Devourer, and then I can discard the Triskelion. So let's discard this Birds of Paradise. Let's exile Birds in the Unearth. Exile the Therapy and the Intuition. And I'll start devouring. This may take a few minutes. If I remember, I'll edit this out, but I will probably not remember, so I apologize if you're watching this right now. So the way this combo works for folks that are not super familiar with the Full English Breakfast combo, I have a Phyrexian Devourer in my graveyard as the top card on my graveyard with a Valrash Shapeshifter in play, which is a copy of the Devourer. Devourer lets you exile cards from the top of your library to give +1/+1 counters. And at 7 power, it has a trigger to sacrifice itself. I'm leaving that on the stack and responding to it by discarding or by exiling a bunch of things. I'm going to discard this Triskelion. Now it is a Triskelion with 17 +1/+1 counters on it. And I need to wait for my opponent to give me priority, and then I will kill them. Yep, you can spin that Attunement, it doesn't matter. The time to spin Attunement was 2 minutes ago. Alright, so sideboarding against Replenish. The Vineyards come out. Vineyard is atrocious against Replenish. Oops. Let's put those like that. So I would, like I said, I would have Glooms come in. I can bring out one Shapeshifter. I can bring out the Fiend. Fiend's not great because it gets plowed sometimes. Bring in the Realist and the Ray of Revelation. I'd like to bring in this Naturalize. I don't know what I cut for it. Maybe this Elvish Spirit Guide. Could see that being a thing. Problem is I'm very low on creatures then. I only go to 18 creatures. I used to board Xantid Swarm against Replenish. I don't think it's very good because they usually only have like mana leaks, so not super exciting. I think we're gonna board like that. Intuition in this deck does serve as kind of a like really expensive creature when you got a survival out. You can Intuition for 3 creatures and just put a creature in your hand. But that didn't happen. I will bring in Crippling Fatigue if my opponent brings in Meddling Mages. Honestly, wish they might. I could actually bring in Crippling Fatigue over Gitu Slinger, but I don't know if I love that. A little bit of second guessing. I don't have a great sideboard plan for Replenish with this deck, but I think this is what we're going to go with. Alright, sounds great. Got turn 2 survival with a Naturalize and some Intuitions to go get other stuff. Okay. Let's see if my opponent plows the bird. Don't think I care if they do. I don't love it, but it's not like the end of the world. Okay. Yep, Seal Cleansing. Oh, it's a Melee Mage. Okay. Yep. And I think I brought in... I did not bring in the Crippling Fatigue. Okay. I do have an Unearth, however, so I can get my Get You Slinger and Unearth it back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to float a Colorless, play Riskgrove. I'm going to bounce the Yavimaya Coast, and then I'm going to cast Intuition targeting them. I'm going to get Unearth, Unearth, and Get You Slinger. Presumably they will give me Get You Slinger. Let's go Unearth, Unearth, Get You Slinger. Yeah, I should have copped to that. Melee Mage is pretty common in Replenish sideboards, and it's really good. It's really good against Classic Feb because Classic Feb has to resolve Survival to combo win. They don't have the option of doing Hermit Druid kills. So opponent's probably going to give me Get You Slinger here because it costs 3 mana as opposed to 1. Luckily, I've got my Ace in the Hole Unearth here to take care of it. Keen observers will note I do not have a creature to discard this Survival of the Fittest, but that Survival is not coming out for another 2 or 3 turns, so I don't think it's going to be a big issue. Luckily, I've got Rare Revelation and Naturalize to deal with any Seal Cleansings from my opponent. Let's see what they got here. They're looking to land like an Intuition. They may go for a Exalted Angel morphed here. That is a thing that happens sometimes. Oops, yield through. I don't like how precise those little boxes are. Yep, can't block you, bud. Can't block you, bud. I'd like to draw a black source so I can double Unearth this turn. Right now if they have Mana Leak, or Plow, that shuts me off of my Unearths, which is not ideal. Again, that bans me. Yeah, it's fine. Okay. I'm going to hide the city. No, because I want to be able to have 2 cities. I want to have 2 black sources, so... if I draw another black source next turn, I want to be able to play it and double Unearth. Alright, here's where I want my opponent to just cast like a dopey Opalescence or something like that so I can pop off this Naturalize or the Rare Revelation. Yep, not yielding through the turn because I do have potential responses to stuff. Dopey Opalescence it is. White and yields all. Taking a lot of damage here, unfortunately, but c'est la vie. Okay. Alright, I've got a second Survival. That's really good for when this first Survival inevitably gets naturalized. So, love to see that. So we're unearthing back our Get You Slinger. Get You Slinger is going to kill off their Meddling Mage on Survival of the Fittest. And then we're going to drop a Survival. And be in the creature waiting room. Again, I can use Intuition as kind of a derpy creature. As a dopey creature, as like a 3-mana creature. I don't want to do that, obviously, but if I have to, I will. That's fine. Alright, I can't remember if I cited out. I cited out a Fatal Shapeshifter, right? Yeah, I did. Okay. Okay, so opponent could be going for another mage here. They got a Seal Cleansing. That's fine. I have a second Survival. Yep. I have a Replenish. That's a little awkward for me. Okay. They're on to 1 card. Okay. So I can let my Get You Slinger die. I would not like to pay the Echo cost. See, I'd like to hit a land, but I didn't hit a land. That's okay. I've got this Rare Revelation flashback to kill off the Seal Cleansing. I still don't have a creature for the Survival, so it's not like a huge deal that I can't activate it. Yeah, and I've still got a Naturalize to deal with the... oops, it's green to flashback. I still got the Naturalize to deal with the Opalescence. Should they go for Opal Wave? And... yeah, I'm just going to jam the Survival here. They have to have exactly Parallax Wave. It's the weird bug where sometimes it doesn't register your clicks for mana. If they have exactly Opalescence, or exactly Parallax Wave in these 2 cards, and, whatever it is. Oh, looks like they have it. Oh, they just replenished back another seal. The seal again. Okay, that's fine. I can intuition to go get my Auramancer. And I've got the Last Unearth in my hand. So what I'm gonna go get Auramancer. And, oh, I'll just cast Auramancer. That's fine too, I guess. I live a blessed existence. I would like one of my finest Survival of the Fittest, please. Yes, I would like to use its ability. And then we're gonna pass turn. Unfortunately, this Cabal Therapy is not very good anymore. Anything they draw, they're gonna just play. So, like, it's whatever. Well, maybe not. Okay. So they have 6 mana for their Decree of Silence. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna therapy them on Decree. Decree of Silence. Oh, they just have lands. Okay. I kind of want to hold off on the survival here because I want to get the creatures with intuition. So I think what we're going to do is attack. And then we're going to intuition at their end of turn to get a creature. If they have a mana leak, they have a mana leak. That's fine. Rather than blow mana leak on my intuition than on my survival. Alright, gonna go to end step. Cast intuition. Thankfully they don't have a meddling mage beating me down. So my life total is in shambles at the moment. Okay, so we're gonna go get Squee. We're gonna go get Monk Realist. And then we're gonna go get something else that we want to unearth. Probably the Shapeshifter. Right, it seems pretty good. Yeah, let's do that. Presumably they're going to give me the Squee. They might give me the Shapeshifter, though. Oh, they did not. Okay. Okay, another land is nice, because it means I can cast Survival without the fear of mana leak. Let's get my attack real quick. My damage. Therapy them. Sacrificing the Auramancer. Once again, I'm going to try for Decree of Silence. Okay, they have a Replenish. Okay, so what we do is we now drop Survival. Oops, cancel. Green. Okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to Survival away Squee. Response. We're going to get Palinchron. We're going to Survival away Palinchron. Go get Devour. And then we're going to unearth the Shapeshifter they so kindly put in the graveyard for us. Response. Okay. Discard this Devourer. Okay, there we go. They conceded. All right, that was a good first match. Win against Replenish, which is not common for me, but I'll take it. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next round. Welcome back to round 2. This is a pretty decent hand. We got to show off the Elodermy's Vineyard, so I'm going to keep it. We got a Survival. This gets torn apart by a Duress, but, you know, that happens a lot, so let's see how it goes. Flooded Strand. All right. I'm putting my opponent on Replenish here. With that being the case, do I want to Vineyard here? Probably not. I don't love the idea. The worst they could do is wave and then Opal, and then I'm just out. They can also drop Attunement turn 2. So can I win on turn 3? So I play that. I have 5 mana. Survival Squeak upon. Yeah, I can win on turn 3 with the Vineyards. So let me give it a go. Let's hope they don't have any interaction. Sometimes you just gotta hope. Live on a hope and a prayer. Opponent said you too, and I said good luck, have fun. Love to see it. Yield this Vineyard. With any luck, my opponent is on blue-white control, and they can't use this Vineyard. Bloodstain could be a lot of things. It could be Gat. This is probably not great against Gat. Let's see what opponent does. Played the Plains. If they fetch out Plains here to play Opal or Wave, they don't have attunement. Granted, I'm cold to Opal Wave anyway, but one thing to think about. Okay, they did nothing. Okay. Okay. I'd love to hit a Therapy here. Oh, Fiend is great. Fiend is a great draw. So we're going to drop the Fiend here. Oh, there we go. And check out what they got. I'm guessing it's land still. Might just be a slow replenish hand. Alright, Mana Leak makes me think it's replenish. Nope. That's fine. Let's do the Forest. And drop our Survival. And try to fade a Seal Cleansing. Yeah, the Seal. That's too bad. Yep. Yep. One's got a 3rd mana left. They got attunement. Yeah. Yeah, it's a bit of a risk to cast the Eladri's Vineyard here, but I thought it was worth it. I'm going to drop the Psychotog and just start beating face. And I yielded. Oh, it's not letting me yield because I have a mana floating. Fair enough. Fair enough. Alright, I get to bash for 2 a turn, which is not nothing. So it's likely I should have waited a turn. So I had the mana to survival the Squee to go get my Oromancer to get back my survival. So I still have a bunch of. I have 8 live draws. I have 3 more survivals, 4 intuitions, and an Oromancer. So I'm not out of it yet. Opponents, okay, intuitioning. They discarded a web, an attunement, Adderker wastes. Okay. What are they getting here? Plow to deal with my Psychotog? Probably not. I think you're going for Opal Wave stuff. Yeah. Okay. So they're going to get the Decree. And I'm going to hope to draw Cabal Therapy. Oh, I guess it doesn't matter. Okay. I mean, really with this draw they had it anyway. Like they would have turned for me, so looks like it wouldn't have mattered. So I'd take a little bit of risk here to try and get through it. Yeah, okay. We can go next game. Alright, same sideboarding as before. We are going to leave in the Slinger to deal with any potential meddling mages. Take out the Fiend and a Shapeshifter. Gonna bring in Ray, Realist, Naturalize, and our Duresses, which should be Glooms. And then we'll submit. Gloom is so good in this matchup. I really wish I had them, but I'm not willing to invest $70 into fake cards. It's just not going to happen. The rest of these were bought with proceeds from previous collection I had. But hey. So they drew pretty hot that game. They had pretty much everything. I'm honestly not sure if the Vineyard mattered too much. If I had an Unearth, I would play that a little bit differently, I think, but I did not, so. Well, even with Unearth, it wouldn't play very differently because I'd need another mana to get the Palinchron in my graveyard. So I could do the Unearth Palinchron trick. If I remember, I'll cut out this waiting here. If I don't, I apologize that you're watching it. Well, it wasn't too bad. Alright, let's be on the play. And I don't love it. So I only got one land, but I've got a lot of sideboard cards. So I think we're going to keep it. So this is going to be a nice duress into Cabal Therapy. Were this a Gloom, I would just lead on Cabal Therapy, probably naming Meddling Mage or Seal Cleansing. Okay, we got a Replenish. Let's take out the Replenish here. Okay. Here's one I had a land. Nice, spike the land. I'm going to Therapy them, take away their Intuition. Intuition. Okay, I forgot to clear this out before I did that, so these cards go away. So they had Plains, Tomb, Seal, Intuition, and Attunement. Okay. Next turn, I can play my Monk Realist and then take out their Attunement. Unless they play the Ancient Tomb Attunement. They may go for Seal Cleansing, they may go for Attunement, I don't know. Looks like you're going to go for Attunement, okay. Which is fine. Okay, hit the bird. Bird is not bad. And a little bit of danger, though. So I know 3 of my opponent's cards. I'm really not priced into taking out this Attunement. I think I want a Realist. Let's see what they do with it. I, of course, can't kill the Attunement, but I can make them bounce it to their hand and make them make some decisions now when they don't have the extra card from their card draw next turn. Yep. See what opponent decides to discard their Attunements. They're going to have 4 cards left after this. 3 cards after I Cabal Therapy them. Plains, Seal Cleansing, Frantic Search, and Ancient Tomb. Okay, let's take out their Attunement. Oh, they drew another Intuition. How lucky. Alright, let's yield through. Be nice to draw another Cabal Therapy or a Duress. Not super likely that'll happen. Alright. So they can Intuition for Replenish here if they really wanted to. I don't think that's a great idea from them. I think I want to run out the bird. I need to develop my mana a little bit. But I also want to get the Survival into play, and Survival is the most mana efficient use of my mana. Let's go with the bird. Let's develop my mana a little bit. Let me cast Intuition. Grab some Cabal Therapies next turn. They can plow my bird, of course, but I'd rather them do that than plow something that matters. Yeah, it's fine. Do you want Intuition here is the real question. Oh, I must have missed a Plains in there. Discarded 1 Plains. Oh, they played the second Plains. That's why. That's right. Okay, so I only know 1 card in their hand. See, so don't go for the Intuition. Yeah, they don't really have any gas to work with right here. Yield through their turn. Alright, it's a nice land to hit. I think what we're going to do is pass and hold up my Rare Revelation. And if they don't play anything and use Ray, I'm going to Intuition for the rest of my Cabal therapies and then drop out my Survival after with a Cabal therapy backup. And if they Mana Leak my Intuition, then I'll just drop Survival. So either way, I'm happy with how this turn's going to work out. Casting Wave or Opal? Or did they draw Replenish naturally? Wave? Yeah, that's fine. Blue, blue, blue. It's a weird bug where the City Brass sometimes doesn't register your actions. Alright, let's get my Cabal therapies. I like to nab that Intuition while they're tapped out. You draw something, discard therapy. No, nothing there, but that's okay. Let's go for therapy here. Strip their Intuition. Okay, they got a plow. A plow and a land, so oops, I can't cast that. So they are in top deck mode, which means I am going to cast my Survival. There we go. City Brass is doing a number on my life total, but it is what it is. I've got nothing to do this turn, so I can yield through. I do have to deal with this Parallax Wave before I try to kill them. That is of note importance. I can, however, develop my Survival engine here. And if they draw Opalescence naturally, I can Ray the Wave in response. So I've got some pretty good draws here. Or some pretty good options, I should say. Seal Cleansing? Sure. Yeah, that's fine. No, I want to Survival first. And Survival. Oops, no response. Response. Get a squee. And then I'm okay with that resolving. It's a nice top deck from the opponent. Survival my squee. I'm gonna go get a Wall of Roots. I need some Painless White or some Painless Green mana. Yeah, they can kill my Survival. That's fine because I have the other one in my hand. Draw I'd like to see as a land. Did they plow already? Yeah, they plowed. I'm not good at clearing out my opponent's hand. Alright, so Squee is going to go and get... Yeah, I'm gonna get the Wall Roots. That's what I plan on getting. Always yes. Always yield. Land is a nice draw. Okay, let me get the wall out. And I can cast my Survival. And this also leaves me open mana to cast my Ray of Revelation next turn. Or I can Survival with the Squee. Both are good and important to do. But this wave is just kind of dying on its own. Oh, they draw another Intuition? How lucky. Oh, they're playing my wall. That's fine. That's fine. Is OP still top decking? I guess I didn't account for that plow. I forgot about it. All right, so the question is, do I want to get the card advantage off the squee, or do I want to save the life with the gemstone mine, or save the gemstone mine? I think I want to save the gemstone mine. So I draw Palancron. I could just survive with Palancron here, right? Oh no, they've still got Parallax Wave, yeah. So I'm just gonna end step. Oh, that's it. All right, dress is nice. Yeah, let's take a look at what they got going on over there. I don't think they will have much. So they're playing off the top. They could have like a mana leak or something. Maybe a plow. And this again would be amazing if it was Gloom. Although the rest was very good with the Cabal Therapy. I won't lie about that. That is totally fair. That is totally fair. I'm gonna do the same thing as last turn actually. I'm gonna survival away the squee. And I'm gonna go get a Wall of Roots. And I'm gonna cast the Wall of Roots because I want that painless green mana. Delicious, delicious painless green mana. Okay, so I don't have Psychic Talk, so I cannot afford to survival away this Devourer. Yep, that's fine. It's possible opponent is holding... I don't know what they could be holding. I'm just gonna rest on this turn. See what they got going on. Guessing there's a Decree stuck in their hand. They don't have mana to cycle it. Could be very wrong though. So do an Intuition. I'm going to snipe it here, which would be really good. Not likely to do Intuition. They have 2 of them drawn in the first 20 cards. They mana leak. Okay. I don't think I want to spend a mana to prevent that. So I will... do I want to spend the mana for that? No, I don't think I will. No response there. And let's... I want to get a bird for good measure. Kind of want to get a bird for good measure. Yeah, let's get a bird for good measure. Get some colored mana sources that aren't going to kill us. Okay, so Opal's no longer a live draw for them, so their wave is out of counters. Okay. Let's get rid of this Auramancer. Go get a Vara Shapeshifter. Go to my next turn. Oh, nice reflecting pool here. They could have Decree here, which is fine. I probably should have flashback Cabal Therapy here. That was not smart of me. Yeah, the Decree. Not smart of me, not smart of me. Yep, that's fine. I'll do it correctly next turn, if I get a next turn. Opponent can draw Replenish here, which would be pretty strong. So, yeah, so what I should have done is I should have floated green, sacked the wall, or floated a blue, sacked the bird, and then therapied them for Decree of Silence, but I did not do that. Part of me wants to do it now, in case they do Replenish. I don't hate the idea. Yeah, let's just be safe. I messed up once. I don't want to mess up again. Vanish. Orm's Chant. Okay, they have a Frantic Search to draw things. Okay. Another bird. Cast the bird. Okay, so they have another draw here. I could have gone for the Frantic Search. May have been a mistake not to. But I do want to preserve my mana. Got a bunch of live draws. I've got Unearth. Yeah, of course they have to replenish. Alright. GG's. Is it GG's? They can seal my survival. Yeah, I don't want to play it up. Can't stop the top deck. Again, if Duress had been Gloom, they would not be able to cast the replenish there. So rough beat. Yeah, I definitely tossed that game away. I should have gone for another thing, but anyway, we'll see you in the next game. Welcome back to round 3 of this Classic Feb Magic Online League. I've got a decent opener. I can lead with Therapy, or I can do Birds into turn 2 Intuition. So we're going to keep this. Again, another hand that gets picked apart if my opponent has Duress. And my opponent says you too, and I said good luck, have fun. Alright, Mishra's Factory could be a number of things. All those things, I believe, want to have a Birds of Paradise in play as a result of that. So we're going to just drop that out. Possibly pretend like we're Cradle Control. And let's see what the opponent does. If it's a Swamp, we're looking at Moneyball. If we're looking at Red, it's some Llanowar Waste. Llanowar Waste Mishra's Factory is not on my bingo card for today. Possibly the Rock with really bad mana. You don't typically see Mishra's Factory with a Llanowar Waste, though, so that's a very interesting choice. Alright, so I think we're going to play this Llanowar Waste. I just don't have enough information to go on. I think I'm going to just pass. I could play Cabal Therapy, but it's just not great here. Okay, that's fine. Wasteland is fine. I've got the Gemstone Mine to cast my Intuition anyway. Yep, you suit up the factory. Attack for 2. Sounds like a plan. So we can drop the Reflecting Pool here and yield again. Llanowar Waste Mishra's Factory. Not a combination I'm used to. And Wasteland Vendetta? Like, it might be the Rock, but a very strange version of the Rock. Another Wasteland, okay. Yeah, that's effective. It's definitely getting them a bunch of free points of damage in. Yep, we got that Mishra's Factory. It's crashing in for 2. And, yeah, let's drop the forests. Can't wasteland those. And this will be nice, because when I do Intuition for my survivals, I'll be able to pitch a Psychotog or a Palinchron to go get an Auramancer, and then buy back my survival if they happen to kill it. Wow, another wasteland. What in the world? Yeah, well, the rest is not good for me. My opponent's really bad mana base is better than my bad mana base. Really wrecking me. 3 wastelands is a lot. That's tough to get through with this deck, even with the basics. The Vendetta is pretty huge. Looked at a Wall of Roots. Yeah, that's fine. I got nothing for you. Or Survival. Survival would be a nice draw. Wall of Roots is good. I'm going to save this Gemstone Mine. I do not want it wastelanded just yet. I'll yield through. And that takes the pressure of the factory off, which is nice. It's a well-timed rest from my opponent. Never letting me get to the 3 mana I needed to cast the Intuition. I got another Vendetta? Bone Shredder, okay. Oh, is this like Rexer? with colorless lands, inexplicably. Okay, survival's a good one. And we'll yield through. I don't think my opponent's going to pay for their Echo. I could be wrong, but I don't think that's going to be the case. They might, though. Oh, wow. Okay. I guess they don't really any danger of me killing them unless they draw a blue source. Yeah, I don't think that's a good idea to let that go through. Alright, I'm going to make a green. Let it resolve. And I think we're going to get rid of Psychotog to go get a Birds of Paradise. Don't think my opponent's on Naturalize here. Yeah, they got black. Pernicious Deed. Pernicious Deed is a thing. Alright. What are my paths to victory here? I don't really have any. I think what we're going to do is we're going to survival this Psychotog. Go get a Squee. And hope to draw a land. And my opponent not draw another Wasteland. They did not hit that. So I'm going to just chill, I think. Yeah. I'm going to have to use the Squee to go get an Oromancer, but that's not the end of the world. Fun fact, this is the Squee that I'm using in my current build of Feb, because I want to get it signed at some point, and the artist that does normal Squee does not sign cards. Alright, so we're going to go get this Oromancer, hope to hit a white source at some point. And do we want to get rid of the... Yeah, I think we can get rid of the Palinchron too. Get a bird. And they have the thing done. So the question is, do I want to deploy this Vineyard next turn? I don't think I do. The worst that could happen is they play a Deranged Hermit. Oh, sure, Dress is fine. Yeah, good job to hedge against the potential survival draw. Always yes and always yield. If only were like that in paper. Alright, so... Oops, cancel. Black. What do I want to therapy for? I think Deed is the thing I'm most worried about. Oh, they have 2 Recurring Nightmares and Innocent Blood. Okay. Well, we're going to cast the bird, and then we're going to take out those Recurring Nightmares. I don't think I'm super worried about the Recurring Nightmares, but it does mean they can start like looping Bone Shredder and stuff, which is not ideal. It's going to be powerful later on. If the game goes later, it's going to be... I'm going to be glad that I took care of them. Innocent Blood's going to be an issue, but this Oromancer is going to die anyway. I'm not super worried about it. So I need to hit a white source. Preferably not out of Birds of Paradise, because that just dies to their Innocent Blood. Or Shapeshifter, okay. Yep, the color's definitely coming to hurt me here. There's another Pernicious Deed, yeah, okay. Okay, we can take out the Innocent Blood. Jeez, a Vendetta too. So much removal. I got nothing going on here. I'd like to draw a Wall of Roots to slow down the factory. Like, they can Vendetta it, but lose 5 life for that? Yeah. Let's see what opponent decides to do. I'm going to take my Oromancer. Okay. I need to draw 2 blue sources or an Unearth. Unearth is, this makes Unearth a live draw when they take the Oromancer. Yeah, I need Oromancer. Okay. Just for a reason hasn't finished resolving it. Yep, you got it. This factory's doing work. I cannot believe their rock deck is playing Wastelands and Vicious Factories. Like, I don't know how that mana works out. I guess you just have to draw Llanowar Wastes, but... Alright, no, the Forest is not super helpful here. Sitting with just Vendetta in hand. Yep, this factory's gonna go the distance. I don't draw some gas soon. Let's see, I'll do the turn. I'm not doing anything here. Okay. It's a nice draw. I kind of want to go get a bird here. Doesn't change the clock at all. And it forces them to pop the deed here. Yeah, I think we're going to do that. Get a bird. Cast a baby bird. Oops, that's not the correct color to cast Bird's Paradise. That's the correct color for Bird's Paradise. So they can Vendetta here if they want, and then hold off on the deed pop, but I'm fine with that either way. I have a feeling opponent's going to deed instead of Vendetta. If they don't draw a land, that means they can't attack me with Mishra's Factory. Yep, they're deeding. Yep, yeah, I've got no mana. Okay, I can put things in the right order now, so that's good. That was not working for a little while. Okay, I played Furnace. I have a mana source to take out my Squee. They do not. That is fortunate for me. Alright, I need to draw a white source here, otherwise my Oromancer gets turned off. And that's not quite the white source I was looking for. Let's yield through. So they can nuke either the Oromancer or the Squee. Oh yeah, the Oromancer, yeah, the Oromancer's dead anyway. Yeah. So I just have to draw survival. That's all there is to it. Firstly, I draw 2 more lands and Trike, or I draw 2 more lands and just drop this Devourer and threaten to beat him up. Oh, that is gone. Yeah, I think we're going to be in the crappy creature beatdown room here. Yeah, I'm just dead. Okay. I get Unearth, but I go to 2, so... Alrighty, opponent has some enchantments. I do believe they have some artifacts. And I do believe that these vineyards are not going to be very good against them. Fiend is fine. It's not great against Deed. Vara Shapeshifters or Get You Slinger is important against Withered Wretch, which I'm almost certain they have in that in that deck somehow. Kind of want to bring in Crippling Fatigue. I think we're going to cut a Vara Shapeshifter. And gotta cut one more thing. Probably Cabal Therapy. Actually, I'm going to cut more therapies, because therapy is just not great in these black discard matches. It's a terrible top deck. And not super exciting. Is there anything I want? Do I want? Yeah, I want Elder Spear more than I want a therapy. That's for sure. And Mesmeric means survival. It goes to survival. So we're just going to leave the therapy. We'll just take out all the therapies. That's fine. Give us a higher creature count, which would be nice. Anything I'm missing here? No, this should be fine. This gives me a few answers to Phyrexian Furnace and some answers to the creatures they have. So a lot to like here. I'm surprised they took the Eladamri's Vineyard. Eladamri's Vineyard would have been net negative for me that game. But I said take something, and there was nothing else to take. I could have taken the therapy maybe, but... Alright, let's start off here. Hopefully we don't have a load-bearing bird die again. I'm going to keep. Hopefully we don't get triple wastelanded again. That's really what we don't need. That was really strong. Alright, bird is out. Bird is the word. Vendetta? Innocent Blood, sure. And I think... Yeah, it's not going to be safe against their discards, so... And I've got the intuition to back up here, so I can play into Naturalize. So I have a feeling my opponent's going to have Green Source Naturalize on turn 2, and I have the intuition to back it up for Oromancer, which will be nice. Yep, and Green Source. Spectacular. Okay, they have a Wall Blossoms. That's really good for me. That is not something that kills me. So the draw is... Draws a forest. I think what we want to do is drop forest. We're going to have to do a Psychotog line to get this Triskelion back. Or I could leave up the Intuition. I think leaving Intuition up is pretty good. Let's do that. It means I have to play the City Brass, but that's fine. I don't have any... No one doesn't have any pressure on me right now, so I'm not super worried about it. May go for a Cabal Therapy here. That'd be pretty fine. I'll just discard the Trike and go get a Squee. They'd probably take the Squee with the Therapy. Furnace. Yep. Furnace hits. Alright, so I think what we're going to do here is go to end step. I'm going to cast Intuition, targeting my opponents. I'm not sure what I'm going to get here. I'm considering Uktabi Orangutan with some Unearths. I could also get Squee, Uktabi Unearth. It's not great. I think I just really want to get my opponent's Furnace off the board. It's pretty important. So we're gonna get, we're gonna get Uktabi, Unearth, Unearth. Presumably they'll give me the Uktabi Orangutan. Yep. And now let's go to the graveyard. Any order, it doesn't matter. Alright, so drop the Uktabi. They unfortunately get value off of it. Yeah, no response. Unless they don't want to. Doesn't seem like a very good idea. Yeah. That's fine. All there. Part of me wants to play the bird just to increase my mana count, but I'm going to just discard it to survival to go get Squee. It means I don't have to do weird trike lines, which is nice. If they don't meaningfully interact with me this turn, I can kill them next turn. It'll be a Palinchron line. Well, maybe not. Kill my City Brass or my Reflecting Pool. Reflecting Pool. Okay, that's fine. It is my second blue source, unfortunately, so I can't cast my Shapeshifter. But that is fine. So at least it lets me get Squee online, which is nice. On the Tormod's Crypt, okay. Well, Tormod's Crypt will take out my Squee, so I'm going to play this a little bit slower. So there is a way to get the deck to a uninterruptible kill, which does involve your Trike and your Devourer being in your hand at the same time as Valor Shapeshifter and Survival of the Fittest in play. I'll go to the end step, and we will go ahead and Survival away this bird. That's all. Let's go get a Squee. And let's see what we'll do the rest of this turn. Go to the next one. Intuition's an interesting draw. Doesn't really do anything, but I can use it to go get stuff, which is kind of cool. I think I want to get a bird and cast the bird. Opponent's stuck on 2 lands, so they can't deed me. They can crypt me, which is fine. I think we're gonna get the bird. That gives me double blue, and I can try for a kill next turn. Yeah, so Squee goes, gets bird. And bird comes down. Now we can yield to the turn. I'm not going to make them click on their walls to block my Octavia Orangutan. No reason for it. And let's see here. Survival dead already. Okay, so this intuition does represent 3 more survivals, which is nice. Or another survival if this one dies. If opponent had naturalized, I imagine they would have prioritized that over their Tormod's Crypt. Or of their Phyrexian Furnace, but definitely over Ball of Blossoms. Vendetta's the bird. Okay. I'm gonna crypt my Squee. Crypting Squee opens up a lot of possibilities for me. Yep, that's fine. So Intuition can go get creatures, which is nice. Unfortunately, I can't get Birds of Paradise. I'm short on birds. I only got 1 left. Okay. Force comes out. And we'll yield. And we're not going to attack with the Octavia Orangutan. Opponent is notably low on time. They took a lot of time beginning this match. When I cut in for you guys, they'd already taken like 5 or 6 minutes. Okay, so I believe we have 2 Unearths down. Yes. We still have our Auramancer. I could go and get a bunch of derpy creatures and then survival it for Auramancer. Or I could Intuition for Unearths and Auramancer. I don't think I like that. I think I'm going to Intuition for derpy creatures. Response. Don't want to yield to all because I don't want my opponent's naturalized to resolve. Okay, so let's get some creatures. Let's get rid of this Mesmeric Fiend. This Elvish Spirit Guide. And one of my Shapeshifters. Make them think for a little bit. So I will be able to Auramancer and deploy my Survival again next turn, which is nice. My Psychotog gone? No, it's not. Okay. So I still have that as an option. This is where having my higher creature count is going to help out a lot. Okay. Gives me a Fiend. Fiend's going to get Survivaled away for a Auramancer. And no naturalized resolves. Creature would be nice. Land is also fine. whites, colorless, yield all. Yep, get my survival back. Guess I would like to use my Auramancer's ability. Thank you for asking, Magic Online. Deploy the survival again, play my Undiscovered Paradise, and pass the turn. I am not looking great here. I honestly may deploy this Triskelion next turn and just start beating. We'll see how things pan out. I could go get Palinchron and then hope to draw a creature next turn. Let's see. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 creatures out of my deck. So approximately a quarter of my deck is creatures. So I've got a 1 in 4 chance of drawing a creature, which I don't love. But it may be the play. Especially if they drop a Deed here. Deed would be very problematic for me. I'm guessing they don't have a naturalize because they'll just fired that off. Of course, they could be slow rolling me. Who knows? Cabal Therapy. Cabal Therapy resolves. What do they name? Name Reanimates. Okay. I do not have Reanimate in my hand. I'm sorry, friend. And for this therapy, fine with letting it resolve because I need to keep the creature count in my deck high. Unfortunately, I need a couple draw steps here to do anything relevant. Losing my squee was very unfortunate. Oh, they didn't do anything there. Okay. Alright, so I have the option of going for a Palinchron here. But if they have a removal spell, that could definitely mess things up. So what I may do is just untap with this Triskelion and cast it, because it's the card they know about in my hand, and then just start attacking with the Triskelion. So let's go for that. Unearth is a nice draw. Unearth would be a kill if I knew what my opponent's cards were. So I could Varash Shapeshifter for Mesmeric Fiend. If they go for a Smother, I can Survival the Triskelion to go get Devourer, and then I can Survival the Devourer to go get Psychotog, and then I can kill them with the Psychotog and the Lava Shapeshifter. So let's cast that here. So I got that for the black, that black-blue, green one. So I got 3 for Psychotog, 1 for Unearth, so it's 4. Survival Trike is 5. Well, I don't have enough mana to do everything. Wait, no, survival. Sorry, I have to think of this real quick. So 1 for Unearth, Survival away Trike, get and cast Psychotog, or get the Devourer and cast Psychotog. Yeah, this works. Let's go for my Power Shapeshifter. I intuitively knew I had just enough mana. At least I think so. I'm going to look very silly if I don't have enough mana, but that's okay. If they have a Vendetta, then it's fine. They just lose a card permanently here, but I think this is fine. Let's see what they got. I would like them to tap out for a Smother here, because if they tap out for a Smother, I can just win. Vendetta. I don't have any black creatures, unfortunately. Oh, I do have a Psychotog. The problem is if I make it into a Psychotog, I can't use the Psychotog to clean my graveyard anymore unless I draw another Unearth. So I think I'm stuck letting this Vendetta resolve. I really needed it to be Smother and not Vendetta specifically. Vendetta is a non-black creature. Yeah, I think it's the only black creature in my deck. Other than Mesmeric Fiend. Let's check the replay real quick here. Let's check out my deck list here. Yeah, I just want to double check. I don't have any more black creatures. Psychotog is my last black creature, unfortunately. I ain't boarded any black creatures, so that does not do it. Alright, so I think I have to let this resolve. I could survival for some stuff here. I don't love it. So I think we're going to just let this happen. I lose a life. And then I get to resolve my Mesmeric Fiend. Wow, that's unfortunate. I think we're going to take the Skeletal Scrying, bait them into casting Nantuko Vigilante. Hopefully they don't draw land for Crumble. And then I draw a creature to win next turn. I don't want them drawing cards, that's for sure. That's for darn sure. It's a bit of a risk here, but... yeah, I don't love leaving the Crumble up for the Trike. Okay, so they can take the Trike with the Wall. What could I do here? I could survival for Palinchron. They take Palinchron. I draw Shapeshifter. I cast Shapeshifter. Not exactly ideal. I'm just short like a card in a bunch of situations here. So yeah, let's survival for Palinchron. Force them to do something about it. They're gonna have to name it if they want it to stop me from doing anything next turn. Yep. Palinchron. Response. So here, if I draw a Shapeshifter, I get to cast it and untap as Palinchron. And they name the Palinchron, of course, which is fine. Yep, they got the morph. Draw a creature here, I can go get Gitu Slinger. I can also Intuition for Crippling Fatigue. Of course, I could also just draw land. I did not draw land, which is fantastic for me. Alright, let's see here. I could go and I could get Slinger. I can then Slinger. I can survival Slinger to get Shapeshifter. Then I can cast Shapeshifter as Slinger to kill the morph, and then that can let me kill next turn if I draw a creature. So we're going to get Gitu Slinger. We're going to survival a Gitu Slinger. We're going to get Vara Shapeshifter. And we're going to cast Vara Shapeshifter. Blue, blue, and 1. Yields all. Alright, so use that. We're getting to a point where I may not have enough mana value left in my deck to kill my opponent. They played this very well. Okay, so they still have a Crumble, which would not stop me if I drew a creature. Okay. Response. We will pay for the Gitu Slinger. Undo. Undo. Do I have a red? Red. 1, 2. Yes, I would like to pay for the Gitu Slinger. Response. Take my damage from my city. Okay. Play Undiscovered Paradise. And I can Kraken for 4 here. Unfortunately, I'm short mana because I had to pay the Echo on my Shapeshifter. But that is not the end of the world. And I do have one more Shapeshifter left to win the game with. And unfortunately, I cannot... Yeah, you can dress me, it's fine. I cannot survival my Birds of Paradise to get Devourer. Oh wow, no, they were not dead. They had Crumble. Okay, I guess they're short on time. They had to try and win the game, so that makes sense. I don't think we're bringing anything else in. I could bring in Cabal Therapies to mess with their hand, but again, they're just not good. Discard spells are just not good top X usually. So yeah, let's just run it back. So yeah, they could have. If I survival away the bird, I got the Devourer. I survival the Devourer, I get Psychotog. I cast Psychotog. I can then use Psychotog's second ability to clean up my graveyard, leaving Devourer on top, and then eventually leaving Triskelion on top. Problem is, my Shapeshifter's exposed as a Devourer for one activation of survival, and they could crumble it, and then I just lose the game. So they were not dead there, but they have like 6 minutes left, so they've got to try and win the game. Looks like they're going to take their time with sideboarding. I mean, it's possible I want a Cabal Therapy. I think I just want all the creatures. I just want as many creatures as I can possibly get. I honestly may want these Sanded Swarms instead of some of these removal spells, but I think they'll serve me well. Not sure what opponent's thinking about. They might be boarding more Graveyard Hate. Might be boarding out their Graveyard Hate because their Graveyard Hate ended up not mattering that game. But we shall see. Alright, this is a fine hand. It's a little bit load-bearing with this Birds of Paradise, but I can live with it. This is another hand where I have Survival and Intuition as redundancy, which is nice. I have nothing to do on your turn, my opponent. Okay, Wall of Roots isn't a bad draw. The bird smooths out my draw a lot. If I don't have it in the play, it's not the end of the world. But my opponent's always had Vendetta for my birds, so... Okay, they got a Furnace. Furnace is fine. Means I can't Squee Chain, but I've got so many creatures, it's not a big deal anyway. Alright, so let's tap for a colorless. Play my land. No response. Bounce this. Cast... Oops, I don't want to cast Survival. I want to cast Wall of Roots. Use the colorless mana. And this lets me do my favorite play in Pre-Modern, which is play Wall of Roots, and then you get to cast your Survival off your Wall of Roots, and then still have a mana left over to try and do stuff with next turn. It's fantastic. I love it. Alright. Downside is your opponent could Vendetta my Wall of Roots. They did not. If they go for a Deed here, I win the game, I think. They naturalize my Survival. Okay, well, we're going to activate my Survival. Counter my wall. We're going to discard the other wall. We're going to get my Oromancer. And then they have killed my Survival of the Fittest. Which is not ideal, but it's not the end of the world. They're also tapped out, so they can't exile the Survival with their... Oh, no, they're not tapped out. They had a land. Okay. That's fine. I can force them to blow their Furnace on the Survival, which is not quite what they want to do, I don't think. So we're going to go for whites, colorless, and a white. And, yeah, let's do that. Sure. You'll do the turn. It's nice to take the Furnace out of the way. I do lose out on my Survival there, but I do have the Intuition here still. So I can Intuition for more Survivals, should I need to do so. I'm just going to depend on what my opponent does here. They're doing a good job of like maintaining high hand sizes this entire time. I got a Deed. Or Recurring Nightmare. I can't imagine they kept in Recurring Nightmare. That card does nothing against me. Plague Spitter. Plague Spitter does some things. Okay. I have a Vendetta for my wall. That's unfortunate for me. I'd like to draw a land here so I can pay the echo on my Gitu Slinger. If I don't draw land, it's not the end of the world, but that's nice. Okay. So land lets me sling here. Let's think about this. I should probably be being a little more deliberate with my plays. I don't want to let this Plague Spitter live, because it's just going to kill my Birds of Paradise and then continue to kill any Birds of Paradise I cast for the rest of the game. So I think we want to Slinger here. Luckily we drew a land so we can pay the echo, unless they wasteland me, which would be a little bit awkward, but if they do that, they do that. It's not the end of the world. Plague Spitter, leave the battlefield, trigger goes off, kills off my bird, and we will attack with my Oromancer. They took a good chunk of damage off that Vendetta, so they're getting kind of low. And they have to interact with me and put on pressure with this Treetop Village to try and win the game in time, so things are looking pretty good for me. Range Tournament, yeah, that's fine. No response. Attackers and step. Next turn. Alright, so we're going to not pay the echo here. And then we're going to Shapeshifter and we're going to kill something. I kind of want to kill a squirrel. Like, if they have Recurring Nightmare, I'm going to be in a little bit of trouble, but not a lot I can do about that. I guess I can just kill the Hermit. I don't like doing that when they haven't made the echo yet, but I'm kind of locked into it, unfortunately. If they have Recurring Nightmare, that is what it is. I don't think they'd leave Recurring for this matchup, though. It's so slow. But I could be wrong. Frozen Tusker, okay. I am fine with a Frozen Tusker getting cycled. If they attack with this Treetop Village, I'm going to double block with the Gitu Slinger and the Oromancer. If they kill the Oromancer, my Gitu Slinger guy becomes a thing. Okay, yep, that's fine. My Gitu Slinger becomes a Oromancer. And then, oh, they had to rest. So, yeah, I don't have that anymore for my Oromancer, which is fine. Or for my Vara Shapeshifter. Alright, so we got a land. So, I'm not going to play this Birds of Paradise, because if I draw a Phyrexian Devourer, I can activate the Shapeshifter. Oh no, because I'm going to be short. Yeah, I can activate the Shapeshifter, turn it into a Devourer, then activate Devourer a bunch of times holding priority, then discard the Birds of Paradise and kill them. So we are going to just pass the turn. I could also, yeah, I've got 3 intuitions and 3 survivals left I can draw. My opponent has 4 minutes left to kill me. I don't like winning on time, but it is what it is. My opponent took forever, so sometimes that just happens. Engineer Plague, okay. So I can name Phyrexian here, and that would be awkward. So what we're going to do is we're going to discard the Birds of Paradise, because it ceases to be a Phyrexian and it becomes a bird instead. Now that said, when my birds goes away, the Plague can then kill my Birds of Paradise Shapeshifter, but they have to burn their crypt now, as opposed to later. This still leaves me with a Shapeshifter in my deck after this one goes away. So let's see if my opponent makes a mistake here or not. I don't know that they will. Name Shapeshifter. Okay, that's fine. I can still cast Phyrexian Devourer. The correct thing to name is Phyrexian, because Devourer is a Phyrexian. But so I'm drawing to my Naturalize or my Monk Realist. I think my Squee's gone, right? Oh no, my Squee's not gone yet. So I draw Survival, I'm in good shape. And I have eaten up a lot of time as well. Okay. Let's... Oh, Black Source. That's awkward. Alright, yield through. Opponent may be able to get this with Treetop Village. Ooh, double Treetop Village is definitely going to help them get there. Yep, that's fine. I got nothing. Opponent drew a lot of sideboard cards here, I think. Alright, let's get rid of a squirrel. It takes 6 going to 8. And I could just be dead. Yeah, I might just be dead. Let's cycle this. I gotta draw. That's something. I needed to draw a Wall of Roots there, but I did not. Okay, they've got a land. Oh, they've drawn not too badly. They did hit a lot of lands this game. They also hit a lot of sideboard cards. I don't know how much they sided in. It might have been a lot, but it may have been a little. Yep, that's fine. Yep. And the only way I don't die is by blocking here and blocking here. I take 5 going to 3 or 2. Alright, that's any order's fine. I don't think I have anything here. Yeah, that's good games. Pretty close that game, but opponent just had all the answers. Alright, we'll see you in the next one. Welcome back to round 4 of this Magic Online Pre-Modern League. I have won the die roll, and I'm going to be on the play. I've been very fortunate thus far. I've not needed a mulligan very much, if at all, this league. So that's good. So we're going to keep this. It's a little soft to Wasteland. I don't have any ramp. I don't have any acceleration, but I do have a survival and then a backup intuition to help get another survival if I need it. So that's pretty good. Got the squee already, so that's nice. We're going to lead on forests so I don't get wastelanded. This also should hide that I'm playing Feb a little bit. So if they try to Cobalt Therapy me or something. Woody footy. Alright. Looks like this is going to be Goblins or Burn. Goblin Lackey. Pretty good. I'd like to see a Wall of Roots here. That's not a Wall of Roots. It is, however, Alan Emery's Vineyard, which is pretty good. Is it good enough to drop here? It would have been better last turn, but what are you going to do? I think what we're going to do... So we're going to drop the Vineyard, and we're going to drop the Survival next turn. This does allow them to possibly play like a Ringleader or a War Chief and get in. But it's not like completely insane for them. It's just kind of good. Oh, they naturalized. That's fine. Totally fine with the naturalize on my Eldor's Vineyard. That's a naturalize that doesn't go on my Survival of the Fittest, so... Alright, that's fine. You get in a smack with your squee. Or your Goblin Lucky. I have a squee. What do they got? War Chief? Okay. War Chief's strong. It's not as strong as some things. Okay, Matron's going to lead into potentially Pile Driver next turn. I went for Ringleader. Okay, so they're setting up for a little bit of a longer game. I believe I am going to be interested in casting the Survival of the Fittest. And we're going to yield through. I'm not a Goblin player. I don't know, unless they have Pile Driver already. I don't agree necessarily with getting Matron for Ringleader. I mean, I guess Lackey, it's fine. I'm just going to kill them next turn, though, so it's not like insane. Wow, it's triple Lackey. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, puts me at 13. So what's going to happen next turn? I'm going to get Palancron. Palancron is going to survival away to get Shapeshifter. I'm going to cast Shapeshifter, untap my lands, and then kill my opponent. Unless they play, like... Sharpshooter. That would be a little bit awkward. I can't do anything here. Oh wait, no, I can't yield. I need to activate my survival. Off all yields. Okay. What did they get? They got Sparksmith and Matron. Matron, okay. I've got to hope they don't put in the Sparksmith with their other lackey. Another ringleader. Hopefully they put in the ringleader instead of something else. Okay. I need them not cast Sparksmith. Unstep. Unstep is good. I like Unstep. The fact that I have Squee exactly is pretty huge here. That's all. Get Palinchron. And then we're just going to next turn. Always yes. Always yield. I need to play my Gemstone Mine. I guess I'm playing Discard Paradise. It doesn't matter, does it? No. Survival away the Palinchron. Go get Varash Shapeshifter. Cast Varash Shapeshifter. No response. Untap my various and sundry lands. All this could get stopped if my opponent had a Sparksmith or a Goblin Sharpshooter, because I would not have... Because I'm depending on using the Devourer off my survival to go and get Trike. So I would not have a window to kill my opponent. They would have a window to disrupt me, and then I would die. Oops, I don't want to discard a card here. Okay, there we go. Bless you, opponent, for not making me do things. Alright, so I've got Crippling Fatigues and Infests, which are pretty good. These Vineyards, I don't know if they're good or not. It aided Naturalize, and it can accelerate out a decent chunk of the stuff they got going on. I don't know if I necessarily want them, though, so I think I can take out these. Take out the Fiend. Kiji Slinger's a little too slow. Crippling Fatigue I like because it's got two sides to it. I do want my Utabi. They typically have some sort of artifact. They usually have some sort of enchantment hate, or graveyard hate, but I don't know if that's going to be relevant or not. Therapy is just atrocious. That's usually what I side out here. I don't need therapies at all because they're playing goblins. Alright, so let's board these in real quick. Let's see what we're looking at here. 3 more cards. I could bring in I could keep the Vineyards in. I believe. Let me check my sideboard matrix here. Sorry, this is great content as you watch me look through the internet. Let's see here. Current classic Feb, and you can see here. I'm gonna pull up my spreadsheet. And against goblins, I bring in 3 Pyroclasts. Oh, this is an old sideboard guide, but I don't bring in Vineyard, and I take out Vineyards. Okay, that's what I wanted to know. So what we'll do is we'll probably bring in Naturalize and Crumble for any artifact hate they have, and then just keep in this Slinger, I guess, as like a random gotcha. It keeps our creature count decent, and yeah, should be good. I'm curious to see how Infest performs. I have not had a chance to cast Infest yet. Alright, this is a great hand, except I don't have a Survival or an Intuition, so we're going to mulligan it. This hand is fine. It's not ideal, but it does have access to Crippling Fatigue plus Intuition. So we're going to keep this, and we are going to bottom one of these two. Either the Shapeshifter or the Unearth. I think the thing that's least helpful here is Shapeshifter. Maybe the Unearth? No, I'll get rid of the Shapeshifter. Done. Okay. And here's something my Goblin's opponent is not on. Oops. Oh, I won that game. That's right. Like, oh no, I'm on the play. I'm on the draw. That happens as the late day goes on. Alright. I legit thought I lost that first game. That's so funny. Alright, I'm going to play this Reflecting Pool. And we're going to pass. This way, if they wasteland, they don't take out an actual source of mana. They didn't have turn 1 Lackey, which is good for me. That does mean they're probably going to have turn 2 Pile Driver. Got no responses here. Which, for the pile driver, I don't think I care about crippling fatiguing it. Oh, and Infest is huge. Infest is huge. Alright, so we're going to play City of Brass. City of Brass will allow us to go and get Survival using Intuition, and then I can Infest next turn. Or if they don't do anything relevant, I can Crippling Fatigue. But I think I'm happy with infesting away a War Chief and a pile driver. Yeah, that's fine. So I get hit for 5, 6, 5? Yeah, it's 5. And let's deal to that. There's a part of me that wants to kill off this War Chief and then get more value off my infest on the next turn, but I don't think that's correct. The question is here, do I want to go Intuition for my survivals now, or do I want to wait to do that? Because right now I'm effectively wasting 2 mana if I don't do that. The 3rd mana is an Elvish Spirit Guide. This gives me more chances to draw the... This keeps the Elvish Spirit Guide as a creature to get my survival engine going, which I think might be useful. So I think we're going to just go to the next turn. It's a nice forest. And we're going to cast Infest. Of note, Pyroclasm would have done the same thing here because I have City of Brass. Had I not drawn that City of Brass, however, this Llanowar Waste would have translated very well into the Reflecting Pool, activating my stuff. And casting Infest. Oh, opponent has nothing. Okay. That was a very good Infest. Oh, maybe it wasn't a very good Infest. Matron is fine. Presuming they're going to go for a War Chief. Might be going for a Ringleader. They go get Ringleader. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Alright, so we're going to play my wastes. And we're going to pass through the turn. Down to 14, which is not nothing. But I do get to get my survival engine online next turn, which is very nice. Alright, they don't have the 4th land for their Ringleader. A Lackey. Alright, I think we're taking a turn off from casting Survival to cast this Crippling Fatigue. We are going to Intuition here. Gonna go get our survivals. Oh, they have a Pyroblast? Strong from the opponent. They're debating saving it for the Shapeshifter. That's pretty strong. That's pretty smart. That's if they have it at all. Okay, so Magic Online did not give me the option of sorting my survivals that turn. That's interesting. Okay, so I drew Psychotog. Psychotog's an interesting draw. If I had 6 mana, I would drop the Psychotog here, bait out the Blast. However, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to Crippling Fatigue, and then I'm going to cast Survival. They probably have a Naturalize. I will then pitch the Elvish Spirit Guide to survive away the Psychotog to go and get an Auramancer, which will let me get my survival back, and then hopefully I draw a creature and I can kind of get back to doing things. So let's do that. Black, 1. Alright, and got my opponent's graveyard 2, so they're not feeling left out. Oh, or I could just hold the survival for a turn. I think I like holding the survival for a turn, especially if they're going to tap out for a Ringleader here. Yeah, I think I like that. I'm going to hold off on the survival for now, because that lets me use my Spirit Guide as a creature instead of as a mana source, which I think I like. Sure, Fanatic's fine.
Do you think we should invite some of my friends over to play D&D again eventually?
Soon, buddy. I'm recording, bud. But yeah, we can do it soon. My son wants to play D&D with his friends, which is an admirable goal. All right, take one from the matron, and they are holding up 2 mana like they have a naturalize, and their life depends on it. Okay, prospector. Yeah, they still have 2 mana up for the thing. I'd love to draw another infest here. That'd be fantastic. But I don't know if that's going to be the case here. All right, so what we are going to do is we're going to cast a Survival of the Fittest. We're going to survival away the Psychotog. We're going to get Squee. And we're going to unearth our Psychotog. As a blocker. So my life total is not nothing. They can Red Blast me here, or they can burn one of their goblins to naturalize. They've got a lot of options. None of them are great. If they have multiple naturalizes, I'm in trouble. Yeah, so they've got the mana for Tranquil Domain. Okay, yeah, that's fine. I'd like to respond, please. Response. Response. An Oromancer. I think I want to turn this Elvish Spirit Guide into something else, so we're going to do that. Kind of want to get Gitu Slinger here. That plays the board a little bit better. I can also turn into something else later, which is fine. I've got 6 mana available to me, so I can Oromancer and Survival Away Squee, which is nice. Or I can Oromancer and Slinger. I can keep my Shapeshifter. I think Shapeshifter might be the option that I want here. Because something I can do is I can kill my Oromancer with Crippling Fatigue if I really need to, and then I can play Shapeshifter and Oromancer back into the Survival. So let's get a Shapeshifter. And they got my Survival. I like that I brought in Tranquil Domain because of the Eldamri's Vineyards. That's very clever. I think they're probably bringing it in for survival anyway, but neat little action. All right, so they do have the Ringleader in their hand still. They could cast it off their Prospector if they were so inclined to do so. I don't think they are, though. But I could be wrong. Nope, they are inclined to do so. Sure. Yep, no response. I can't yield through the turn because I may need to pump. I'm going to need to pump with my Psychotog. What did they reveal? War Chief. Okay. Can't really attack me profitably, which is great for me. I'd like to always yes and always yield. Also, the only annoying thing about playing the Survival Fit is you have to remember your Squee every turn. It's just part of the job description, but it's not the most fun thing in the world. All right, do I have anything interesting I can do with my Oromancer or my Varshifter? I don't. All right, so we're just gonna cast Oromancer. Get my Survival back. They probably have another Naturalize or something, which is fine. Let's get the one that's further down. I don't think it matters, really. Yes, I would like to use Oromancer's ability. I do wish I had another mana, because I could actually kill them here. But they do have, if they have a Red Blast, then they could stop me with their Skirk Prospector, so it's not like auto-magically a thing for me. But I think we're going to drop the Survival out. If they have another Naturalize, it's fine. It's not ideal, but it's fine. I can go get like Triskelion or something with Squee and start murdering their board. It's gonna be a big turn for them. Go for the War Chief. Okay. That is good for me. I need to draw an Unearthed now because I believe they have a Red Blast, and I really don't want to get my stuff Red Blasted. Or when I get my stuff Red Blasted, I should say, I want to be able to Unearth it. So, okay, go to end step. We're going to survive away my Squeak. No response. No response. We're going to get a Palinchron, I think, because I want to... Because what I want to do is I want to Palinchron Shapeshifter to untap my lands. I don't know if it's really necessary, so I could just get Devourer and then probably just try to kill them by casting Shapeshifter and surviving with Devourer. That causes problems if they have a Red Blast because they can counter my Shapeshifter on the stack, but I don't think that's a huge issue. So yeah, I think we're going to just get the Devourer here, set up the kill. Okay, Wall of Roots is a nice draw if they do counter my Shapeshifter. I think if they had a Red Blast earlier, they would have used it on my Intuition. So we're gonna just kind of jam. And they have to sacrifice a Goblin here to Red Blast here, which is fine. Yeah, that's a-okay with me. Yep, you got it right on the West. Thankfully, I have 3 Vara Shapeshifters in my deck. So that's nice. Okay, we'll yield all those. And I think we're going to go and get our Gitu Slinger and kill this War Chief. Possibly I want to kill this Skirk Prospector. No, I want to kill the War Chief. That is a thing I am interested in doing. It's battle o'clock. It's possible to like another War Chief here, but then I just block on my Gitu Slinger and it dies, so. Wasteland's an interesting card here. So they can use that to control the top card of my graveyard, which would shut off my Shapeshifter, which is pretty strong. Okay. Fortunately, I have a second creature, so I can discard this Wall of Roots to go get the Trike, and then do what's called the Uninterruptible Kill, where I have Devourer and Triskelion in my hand, and a Shapeshifter in play. Alright, so nothing here. Yep. Response, I'm not going to pay for my Gitu Slinger. Not interested in that. Okay. Alright, do you have another blast? If you do, congratulations. If you do not, you are dead. That War Chief has been gone for a while. Their non-ringleader card has to be a Red Blast here, otherwise they're dead. It's possible my opponent's slow rolling me here. I think they're just thinking through their options. None of which are very good if they don't have a Red Blast. Okay. I've got a Psychic Dog here. There's just a variety of reasons why my opponent is dead here. Trike. So Psychic Dog's activated abilities the cost of discarding doesn't use the stack, so I can just discard these freely and kill my opponent. Or try to kill my opponent anyway. Should have enough melee value left in my deck. Still a bunch of intuitions. Some more infests. I have like a shatter. Jump home incinerator. Okay, yeah, it doesn't matter. Just gonna make me click a bunch of times. So they had an interaction point. It was not enough. So I gotta get to 15 counters. Alright, they realize they're dead. Okay. Don't love that they're making me click through this, but that is their prerogative, and I am playing a deck that does require a lot of clicks. They also have to sit here and watch me do it, so okay, there we go. Good games, opponent. Alright, that was a strong win, I think. Let's go into round 5 and see if we can get a 3-2. Oof, man, those 2 tough losses there. Welcome back to Impulse Plays, the last round of the Pre-Modern League. I'm in match 5 against Enrique. This hand is fantastic. I'm on the play. Oh, no, I'm on the draw. I don't have a green source to cast either this Birds of Paradise or this Odd Armory's Vineyard. I have 2 Reflecting Pools, the 2 Reflecting Pools that are in my deck. So we're going to mulligan this. I could try and keep and draw into a green source, but that's not super great. This is not fantastic either, but it's got mana sources. If I had a blue source, I can cast my intuition, so I'm just going to send back the intuition and be done with it. I'm not optimistic about this game. This is not a very good opening hand. I need my opponent to be doing next to nothing for me to do anything. Mountain is not doing next to nothing. That is important for me to deal with. Alright, well, I have to draw, like... Yeah, I don't think there's anything I can draw. I'm pretty sure I'm just dead this game. I'm going to do the best I can, but I don't think I can get do this. If opponent doesn't play any creatures this turn, I might be okay. Unfortunately, they played a creature. Alright, well, let's play that. Response. Let's get back my wall. Or let's get my forest and play my wall. Fortunately, still no blue source for these intuitions. I have plenty of creatures. I've got the things I need to win when I have a survival in play, but I don't have the things I need. I don't have the mana sources I need to get survival into play, which is unfortunate. Yep. Your 2 dudes attacking to my wall. I'm gonna block the Lavamancer. I don't want to get hit by a wizard. I feel like it's... Maybe I should block the Gottmog Fanatic. It's much more demeaning to get hit by a goblin than a wizard. I don't know. Let me know in the comments which thing I should be more worried about. Yeah. Wait, what? Oh, okay, it's got 4 damage on it. It just doesn't show on here. Yeah, that's fine. I am 100% okay with this wall soaking up 5 damage. Okay, they got a Wasteland, which is pretty strong. They're not using it against a blue source, which is really important for me. Alright, so unfortunately they have Wasteland in their deck, which is not something most burn decks have. That's pretty unfortunate. If I get Mountain Ball Lightning here, I'm going to feel really bad. Got nothing. I need to draw straight lands for the longest time. Okay, they're holding up mana. Yeah, I didn't draw land. Unfortunate. Got 20 left in my deck. Roughly 1 in 3 to draw land each turn. I don't know if I agree with my opponent's decision to Lavamancer me there. Darwin. Alright, well. That's fine. I'm definitely not winning this game. I got to meet Darwin Castle at LobsterCon 25, actually. He was a very, very pleasant person and signed my Avalanche Riders, which was pretty cool. Almost hard to concede game. Like, yeah, I could just concede the game. I'm not coming back from this. Again, I need to hit straight lands. I need to not get my blue source wastelanded. I don't know why I'm holding on to this turn. I can deal through it. Okay, Reflecting Pool's not ideal, but It's less attractive to Wasteland, and it also lets me cast Intuition if I draw Blue Source. Okay, they were all board killing it. That's fine. All right, is opponent gonna keep back their Lavamancer again, or are they gonna swing in? Yeah, they're gonna swing in. That's what I would probably do too. They got 4 cards in hand. That's a lot for a red deck. Curse Scroll's fine. Mod Fanatic is also fine. I think I am just dead. I take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They have to have a bolt of some sort. Yeah, that's fine. We can go to the next game. So for matches like this, the Aladdin Vineyard is going to be very powerful. Very, very powerful. I don't know that I want Infests, because those are very tough to cast against the Darwin Castle deck. But we're definitely going to bring in this Aladdin's Vineyard. I think we're going to bring out a Gitu Slinger. Mesmeric Fiend probably comes out. Tabi comes in. Crumble comes in. Naturalize comes in. Some therapies come out. I'm not going to board in these Duresses, because these Duresses are supposed to be placeholders for Glooms. And I want them to be Glooms, so they're not going to be these last 2 therapies. These therapies will have to be therapies. I mean, I don't think I'm going to be destroying my survival, so I can get rid of my Auramancer. Yeah, let's bring in these Infests. I don't like my odds of casting them very much, but they may be a thing. We'll see. Unfortunately, our creature count is a little bit low. I could cut these Infests and bring back some creatures, because that's really important for the survival deck. That's really important in this matchup to be able to survival. Alright. And this opponent said thank you too, and I said good luck, have fun. Nice. Alright, we're going to be able to play. We're going to mulligan. And we're going to keep. Put back this Intuition. And lead on a Llanowar Wastes. Pass the turn. Hope my opponent isn't a Wasteland, because the other land is a Risk Grove. Oh no. Disaster. Now, if I draw a Aladdin's Vineyard, I may actually cast it off of the Risk Grove here. I did not, so I don't have to worry about it. All right. Ideally, opponent doesn't have a second Wasteland. They did not. So I get to deploy my survival next turn, which is huge, because that is what you want to do against these red decks. I was considering playing the Wall of Roots, but it's my only creature, and I need that to get my survival engine going, so we're going to not. I'd like to draw another black source for Infest, of course. I don't know if my opponent's going to be on, like, Jackal Pup. It doesn't seem like they would be with what they have going on. If I draw a creature, I'm going to deploy Wall of Roots. If I don't, then I'm going to start survivaling. Yep. Fanatic and a Seal of Fire. You got it. Alright, well, let's drop out Wall of Roots. Let's survival using my Wall of Roots. So folks unfamiliar, you can use Wall of Roots on each turn. So what I'm doing is surviving on my turn to get my Squee, and then on my opponent's turn, I'm going to survival again using my Squee. Unless they kill my Wall of Roots. They're thinking. Okay. I don't know what they're thinking about, but they were thinking. They may be considering, like, Seal Firing and Grim Lavamancer my Wall of Roots, which I am 100% okay with. Alright, Mischievous Factory makes me think they're not going to be on Ball Lightning, which is nice because it's a big damage source that I don't necessarily feel like dealing with. I'm unfortunately short of blue sources to actually win the game, but it's fine. Tax of the Mog Fanatic, okay. Okay, I thought he was going to, like... I thought opponent was going to... I shouldn't be just saying he. I thought opponent was going to be letting me block and decide if I was going to take some damage there. They did not. Let's get another Wall of Roots. We want lots of Wall of Roots here. And we'll pass to a turn. Go to 18. Not a bad place to be at this point in the game. Another Seal of Fire. They don't have 2 cards. Always yes. Always yield. I have no idea why the stack is over there. It's usually over here. Interesting. I could unearth a Wall of Roots. That doesn't seem very good, so I don't think I'm going to do that. What I think I'm going to do is just deploy a Wall of Roots. Make my opponent use their burn spells on that. Have fun with my Wall of Roots, friend. Factory activates, yep. What I'm going to do is I'm going to block the factory here and give them the option of fanaticking and sealing, because that is yet another huge chunk of damage that I am not taking. And I can just survival for another Wall of Roots. And I can also unearth a Wall of Roots, which would be pretty huge. Lightning bolts, sure. I mean, I will eventually run out of Wall of Roots. This is factual, but turn is not this turn necessarily. I'd like to draw some more lands. That would be pretty nice. Another black source would be good, so I can infest away this Grim Lavamancer. Seal of Fire. So I've got a virtual 5 on the board. Grim Lavamancer can't activate, which is huge if I'm able to infest. And I was not. Tragic. This Painless Source of Green is pretty huge here. Letting me cast these Wall of Roots without taking much damage. This turn, I think I'm going to block the Mog Fanatic and force them to use some seals. Also takes a permanent source of damage off the board. Conversely, I could just not block. Are they really ball lightning me here? Oh, they're curse scrolling. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, you can curse scroll me. I don't know that I would have left my Mishra's Factory untapped. I'd rather keep the red untapped for the Grim Lavamancer, but... Oh, okay, they got the red there. Fabulous. So what are you doing, opponent? Are you going to Seal of Fire my Wall of Roots and then use your Mog Fanatic to kill it? Or are you going to Seal of Fire and use your Grim Lavamancer to kill it? You have done 4 damage to my Wall of Roots. You have done 6 damage to my Wall of Roots. What do I want here? I kind of want Psychotog, and I can unearth the Psychotog. Psychotog is a very good blocker. So unfortunately, I can't kill my opponent when they have a Mog Fanatic in play, because if I unearth my Shapeshifter when there's a Palinchron in my graveyard, they have a window where my Shapeshifter is a 1/1 to kill it, which is not ideal. So unearth is not going to be super powerful right here. I think I'm going to get my Psychotog, hope to draw a land. Otherwise, I'll survive away the Psychotog, unearth it back, and then go from there. Yep, you gotta... Actually, I can just deal through the turn here. Taking 4, going to 13. If I draw a black source, I might still infest here. I'm unsure. Okay, so that's a black source. It's a painless black source, too, which is also really nice. That's going to leave them with Scroll, Mishra's Factory. I think I'm okay with that. That also leaves the option for me to kill them with Unearth, should I draw another mana source. Yep, you got it. The other mana source necessary is because I need to survival one of my creatures to get a Shapeshifter, get a Palinchron, and then unearth the Shapeshifter while the Palinchron's in my graveyard. I can do this over 2 turns. I'm not under a ton of pressure at the moment, so I might be okay, but we will see. And opponents is saving their curse scroll. Very wise, very wise, very wise, very wise. Interesting. So I think I want to do is I think I want to survival away my Psychotog, go get a Shapeshifter. I want to unearth my Psychotog, and then I can survival away my Squee and go get some other stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to do that. So we're going to survival away Psychotog. We're going to get... we can get a Palinchron, I think. Yeah. And we're going to unearth our Psychotog here. It's a nice City Brass draw. And if they have a Red Blast, they have a Red Blast. It's not the end of the world. Put me to 7 with their Curse Scroll. What do they name? If it's Fire Blast, I might be dead. Grimlock Mancer. Okay, Grimlock Mancer is not something I'm worried about. What do you got? Darwin would be really good here because I can kill my only blue source, which is the City of Brass. Which does shut off my plan of casting... Oh, Rashadenport. Rashadenport's pretty good too. Yeah. What are they targeting? Targeting my face. Okay. I got the Lavamancer. Do I even survival here? I don't know that I necessarily want to. So I am unfortunately locked into needing a blue source to win the game. Or an Unearth. Unearth works too. Okay, I think I can do this. If I draw a land... I have to draw land because I need to intuition. I need intuition for unearths. I then need to discard Palinchron to survival to get a shapeshifter. Discard the shapeshifter to Psychotog, and then unearth my Psychotog shapeshifter or unearth my shapeshifter Palinchron. I think that's where we're at. So we're gonna pass the turn. Opponent's gonna port my City Brass likely. Oh. Oh, they're doing my draw step. Okay. That's clever. That's clever. Very well played from my opponent. Very well played from my opponent. I may just be dead then. I go to 4. I can infest away the Grim Lawmancer going to 3. I take 2 from the Curse Scroll. And then I die to Rashadenport on my next turn. Tragic, tragic, tragic. So I'm just thinking through my lines here. Don't have very much available to me. I can get Elvish Spirit Guide. Does that help me at all? I don't think so. Oh, wait. Maybe it does. I can survival a Palinchron. Get ESG. Pitch ESG to cast Intuition. I don't have a Shapeshifter in my graveyard. I should. If I had squeed last turn, I think I would have done okay. But I didn't know that was going to happen, so... Sorry, thinking. I don't think I have anything here. That's a bit of a blunder. I didn't think it mattered if I survived last turn or not. Turns out it did. And, okay, so I can survival away this Palinchron, go get Elvish Spirit Guide, cast those, get that back. Problem is I just die next turn. That's the really awkward part. It's the really awkward part. If I drawn a blue source, here, I could have just won, or just any land actually. Eldermere Vineyard is the thing that doesn't do it. All right, yeah, they got me. If you see the line here and I don't, feel free to tell me in the comments. All right, not the greatest results for this match. Went 2 and 3. The red deck's tough, and I had a lot of sideboard hate in the green-black match, and then the replenish match went how the second replenish match went how I normally have replenish matches go. But very good, very fun, very good games. That last game, if I had survivaled my squee for a shapeshifter, I could have won. If I had, then I could have then intuition for unearth. And I just didn't see that line, so that's my bad. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll try and do another league like this. Maybe before LobsterCon, maybe not. We'll see. But otherwise, thanks for watching, and yeah, feel free to point out how bad I am at Classic Feb in the comments. See you later. Bye.